And I am live. Oh, wait. One sec. Forgot to put on my watch. Oh, wait. Ah. Okay, there. No, wait. There's more. I should have been more prepared. There we go. I was like, why am I hearing my voice? It's because I YouTube's live chat thing in YouTube Studio is still not working. So I have to have YouTube open another tab to see the live chat, and it's still broken. I can't believe it. It's been like a couple weeks since I've streamed, and it's still broken. And it's a different error message now, which means it's a different thing breaking each time. Anyways, so hold on, RetroArch. There we go. So this is a ROM hack of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which makes it play more like a Phoenix Wright game, and that is very loud for me. There we go. Oh boy, here we go. I've been itching for a new Phoenix Wright game for ages. Oh, this game auto-saves after each scene. Do not turn your console off during scene transitions. Well, I'm playing it on a PC using Parallel, so don't need to worry about that. It's so quiet. Oh, I have my mouse on screen. Oops. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one could make such a blunder, princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Holy shit! So obviously she was framed then. I love it! It's a Zelda-ified version of the thing! And it's just like actual Phoenix Wright. Oh my god, wait, the court record? Hold on. Attorney's badge. Proof that I can stand in court as an attorney. That is one of the spirit medallions! Okay. Long-time friend defendant in this case. Age 27. Okay, so this is more like Majora's Mask. Talon deceased. The victim, owner of Longland Ranch, and Mountain's loving father. Okay. You'd think after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. So why am I shaking? Ugh. I guess it's a lot. I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. You can't see it like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will be soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much for when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she's currently in the prosecutor's lobby. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot one thing with my camera. Ah! Come on, there we go. We're good. We are good. Okay. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Not to worry. She will definitely be there before trial. Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I can do but wait. I just realized I have a Nintendo 64 shirt. I could have worn that while I was doing this, but I didn't. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Oh, there we go. Ah, see? There she is. No need to get all worked up. I like how she has her own unique text sound effect. Something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. No. Don't worry, everything's fine. This is Mal, and ever since we met in Hyrule Castle Town all those years ago, we've been great friends. heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? This is so much like actual Phoenix Wright. It is actually insane. Yes, the investigate. Oh wait, hold on, I just realized. I just realized I didn't check something before going live. Have I made a fool of myself? I have not. I have not made a fool of myself, thank God. Okay. For a second, I was worried the game audio might not be playing, but as far as I can tell, it is. It's the investigation. I found tons of groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my component's a real scumbag. Actually, hold on, let me check the actual stream itself, make double sure. Yep, actual stream's going. Okay, we're good. We Gucci, we Gucci. Sorry, it's just like I've made that mistake once before, and now I'm like paranoid about it. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. He probably just did that so he wouldn't have as much time to talk. You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Of course I believe. Although I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of father I carry around. Can't believe he's gone. Wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Oh boy. Hey, you know, that pictograph could really be useful for the trial. Oh, how so? Well, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Ah, well, here you go then. Well, those pictographs in the court record. Okay. Liz, I'll be walking in there with something over to my badge. Alright. It is crazy! This is so much like actual Phoenix Wright. Like, oh my god. We shouldn't just be idly chatting. There's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about. Can you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there isn't really much to... Fuck! The trial is starting. Defendant attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Great. Lovely. Fantastic. Great. Prosecutor's been playing me for a fool since it began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. Here we go. Let's go! My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. I won my fair share of cases, and lost some too, but this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Valen's life, but I have to find out who did this to Talon. Talon. He was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. Isn't Talon the guy who was past the ever-loving fuck out at Hyrule Castle when he was supposed to, like, deliver milk or something? And left his daughter just standing outside the gate? We're talking he was kind? I think he was just lazy, moreover. That's going to be a part of the prosecution, isn't it? It's going to be like, well, her motive was that her father was a lazy piece of shit who constantly naps all the time. And in the bad future that no longer exists because Link prevented it from happening, supposedly, he sold his farm to his farmhand that ran it into the ground. Oh boy. Ganon is the prosecutor! Ganon is the prosecutor! I can't! I don't know who I expected it to be, but I definitely didn't expect it to be Ganon. The offense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my god, he's even in a Phoenix Wright tuxedo and everything. Drag my... No, that's Ganon. You can't tell me otherwise. I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking? Pitting me against some pathetic kid. Pathetic kid? Look at you right to... Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you have committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems as ready as well, let's hear their opening statement. The opening... sorry, wrong voice. The opening statement shall be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood, all so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you? You greedy little rat. Oh my god, they even got the objections! Your Honor, I can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this. Ha! She committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. I assure you, old man, you'll change your opinion once you see all the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Okay, so it is Ganondorf. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. What do you mean? What do you mean you've... So wait, I thought this must be like after Ocarina of Time, because he said he met her as a kid. But like, if he was basically Kokiri, the whole reason he left in the first place was because of the events of Ocarina of Time. So, okay. Maybe I'm just stupid. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently, he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades. All while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Definitely has that look at the very least, who wears full armor to court. That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. He is wearing a full suit of armor to fucking court. Very well. Please present your case to the courts. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective present the basics. Okay, hold on. Before the detective, let me try to theorize who it is. Is it the old man from the research facility over in Lake Hylia? Is it... Oh, who else could it be? Maybe one of the farmhands? I don't know. Imp! It's Impa! Impa's the detective. Okay. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Oh, here we go. First battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, state your name and whatever it is that you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible any possible change would be for the worse. Now, stop wasting time, name, and occupation. Oh man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division. True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking! You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has fallen if I could English, that'd be lovely. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement? I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job from this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please go ahead, detective. This is fully original music. They've been doing all Phoenix Wright remixes using the Ocarina of Time sound font thus far, but now it's all original. Hold on. Doing Ganon's voice is getting me thirsty. Side note, if there's a Sonic reference, I have the perfect prop. Yes, this is a glass thing that looks like a Chaos Emerald. The incident happened. Okay, this actually unironically goes so hard. It's... Oh my god, I know what music they're doing. It's, The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. Is that the fucking knife there? A tragic loss for our kingdom to be for sure. I have seen the man around Castletown a number of times, delivering goods. Quite. The owner has a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure this To ensure this operates as it should. And as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown offers a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, detective. When the Sheikah force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to them lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed the only possible culprit. Of course, it's classic Phoenix Wright shit. Let's go! That about covers the gist of what happens. Oh my god. I have not played Phoenix Wright in so long. I am up for this. Let's fucking go! Very nice and succinct. Keep that up! I didn't expect him to do the laugh. Very nice and succinct. Keep that up and perhaps you will keep your job. I don't think the good detective here has much to worry about that, given she's the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? That would be because I have been assigned to this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself. Oh my god, the king himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it? You're correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved in field work like this. This time, however, the king felt it necessary because of who was involved. Zelda? Who is involved in Zelda? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the king? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I managed the king one of the top investigators on the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime. Ha! And there you have it. The case rides on the princess's own words. The irony of that, considering at Ocarina of Time, he is so quick to dismiss what she said. Hold on, are they going for like the link to... It's a suspense track, the link to the past thing for like the very beginning of the game. If that's what they're going for, that's actually really cool and I dig that. To doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty. This is bad. I can't really object to that. Very well, if the princess is testifying today, we better make it her... We better... Fuck. It's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. Witness testimony, here we go. The reasons for arrest. I have to imagine that the music is actually coded. Like, it really, really is. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitively took place inside the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch. The victim, the defendant, and the worker who was an alibi for the time of the crime. It's the worker. It's Ingo, right? That's the name, Ingo. It's fucking him. He's always the one fucking around and doing shit. He's the one who already tried to take in that bad future, whatever, of Ocarina of Time. It's fucking Ingo. We all know it. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that was what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. It's Ingo. We all know it. We all know who it was. He's the guy who's always fucking about, doing shit he's not supposed to. It's Ingo. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Alright. Here's what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. Wait. Hold on, I want to see. To make sure we have the correct weapon, to conduct a very thorough investigation. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, man! I was hoping I could, like, do the 3D model thing that they do, and... To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. So, first of all, I want to say, I don't think, so, obviously there's not going to be any fingerprints, because Zelda is a very fantasy setting. They're not going to have fingerprints, they're not going to have DNA. Maybe there'll be some magic thing to do instead of DNA? I don't know. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness. Ugh. At this rate, they're gonna paint Malin as some heartless monster. There is one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Thank you! So, there's a possibility that it's not the real murder weapon, and that the real murder weapon was shipped out in the milk crates. Gotcha! Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally, who do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all the boxes open and checked what was inside. So, worker's obviously Ingo, right? So, he got worked up about it. Obviously, because he hid something in there, and he didn't want them finding it, and I guess they didn't find it. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. There's something in the milk. He put it inside the milk. I'm calling it. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, detective. He put it inside the milk, didn't he? Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Oh god, they're gonna get to tutorial stuff? Okay. Couldn't hurt to go over this again. No, I know how to do cross-examinations. I played Phoenix right before. Sorry, but there's no time for that. We'll have to get started right away. I'll just try my best to follow along. You know what you're doing? Yeah, I do. Sure hope so. This might not be easy. The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Bah! A waste of time! I sincerely hope you're not implying that standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready, defense. Please begin the cross-examination. Here we go. Oh my god! I love that! That's so cool. What makes you think she's the culprit? She's just about to tell you. Keep quiet and listen. Trevor, the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. Okay. And just how did you do that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Long Lawn Ranch is not paved in any way. Clearing blood off the ground would require disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort. Bah! There wouldn't have been enough time to pull that off anyway. Likely true. Right. Sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm, but I'm not giving up yet. There were only 3 people on this ranch, the victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The worker's the one who did it. It's Ingo. I know it. 3 people, you say. I guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo. I remembered his name. I've not played Ocarina of Time in years, and I remembered his name, and I remember that he's a piece of shit. Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you'd notice you mentioned he has an alibi. Yeah, but he's a piece of shit, so I don't believe that for a second. Indeed, we're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is this alibi then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments? Well, the worker, Ingo, was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. I still don't believe it for a second. He's pulling some fancy bullshit. I know it. Is that so? Surely could have gotten away for that one really quick little murder. This wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. Exactly. Like, for once, I'm actually agreeing with fucking Ganon. This game has me agreeing with Ganon. What the fuck? He'd have taken steps to hide his involvement, too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them in the crates, and finally load up all the wagon, and hide the murder weapon. Don't forget it. I'm already calling it. He hid the murder weapon in the milk. Like, I'm calling it. That's what he did. Usually I had to do it together with father to finish before the courier arrived. Oh, I just realized this is at the top chat, not live chat. Oopsies. The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all fully loaded with filled milk bottles. So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a bit odd? Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly he's a man dedicated to his job. I couldn't say that without laughing. Ingo, dedicated to his job. Yeah, right. No, not a chance. I will be dead in my grave before I ever say that with a straight face. No, Ingo is the laziest, most vindictive man I have ever seen in any video game made by Nintendo. Well, I take that back. Porky's more vindictive. He's not as lazy, but he's very vindictive. More than Ingo, in fact. But Ingo's definitely up there. Or perhaps the girl and her father were just very inefficient. I will say that was like the one thing Ingo ever said that I agreed with. They are very inefficient. Mal at least tries, her father does not. This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. I love how they have like the objection and whatnot written in like the Hyrulean kanji. I love that. That's cool. Malin fainted. Correct. We couldn't get her to wake up for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh? Ha! Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she'd merely found the body. In any event, furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a direct doubt, it was used to kill the victim. Hold on. Clean of blood. Hold on. This weapon is a deep wound, which means it had to have been stabbed. But this weapon is a saw. You would have been like more of a... not a... I already know she's innocent, because that's how all this goes. That's Phoenix Wright 101. The defendant is almost always innocent. And how can we be so sure of this? Look at the autopsy report. Deep, irregular wound made by a sharp metal object. The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. Oh god, excuse me. And I've already mentioned, We also looked closely all over sharp objects on the ranch. None had recent blood on them. Neither did this! It's clean of blood! It literally doesn't have blood either! And it can't make the wound that you're suggesting it made! It can't do this! It can only do this! Maybe the real culprit hid the real one. Oh yeah? Prove it then. Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that. Still, something bothers me about that saw. So you have nothing? What a waste of time. I'll press this last one, and then I'll present the saw. Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious. Perhaps you're just bad judges of character. Both of you. No way. Just give me some time and I'm gonna prove it. See anything wrong here? I do. Usually it's difficult to find anything wrong with the basic facts of the case, which is why I pressed. That said, I did think I saw one small thing. I wish the B button wasn't history, because I always like, whenever I'm like repeating text like that. Okay, hold on. Bleeding out on the floor. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. I want the 5th one. And I present the saw. Hold on, is it? Ah, okay, I gotta press up on the analog stick, okay. Huh, this feels like a fairly large oversight. I just want to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That is correct. That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Ha! Is that all you have? Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation as to why the saw is clean. Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. And you didn't think to mention this until now? This is like the fucking autopsy report all over again. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. If Mal was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she stumbled upon the scene. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the bloody cloth into evidence. So, what's the story with this cloth? Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a little too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingle about it, so I dragged up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Well, it wasn't that bad. I did bleed quite a lot, though, so I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house that's far to help me with the fence. Ha! A likely story! And impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheik of Horse had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is one cunning woman. She knew this would explain the sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh, yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel and one took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. Why is the shading on his face changing every few frames? Seriously, like, look. Shaded, unshaded. Shaded, unshaded. Shaded, unshaded. Why is it changing every few frames? Actually, that's very consistent. This is parallel. It's the most accurate Nintendo 64 emulator out there. It can't be like a parallel issue. But dang it. Too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my next witness. Uh-oh. Is that all I can get out of her? You've served your purpose, Sheikah. Begone! Fine, but you had best treat Her Highness with some respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons. Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude will be nothing but comfort for me. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order! Order! I will have order in this court. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with the utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me weary with all the pointless jabber. It's time to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. I accidentally pressed the trigger. They gave her a custom model, didn't they? She looks a bit off. Is something the most casual murder witness to ever exist. Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Ah, Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain of how to proceed. It's quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Bah! In the true face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation. Now, is that really necessary? Like anyone doesn't know what the princess is. The prosecution will behave exactly. I'll not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure. Oh man. It is alright, detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equals. On this stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. Yeah, he is not very subtle. Yeah, exactly. You flatter me, prosecutor. She is not picking up on it in the slightest. Zelda is the one who picks up on it in the original, and here she's just oblivious. Where Link's the one that seems to really realize. Excuse me. Now then, I believe I was asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and the heir apparent to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why were you at Longlong Ranch to witness a terrible incident? Oh, it's simple, really. Longlong Ranch is Hyrule Castletown's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips Hyrule's royal guard with the finest of horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill and to ensure the quality of the steeds. Oh, I didn't know your horses were used by the royal guard. Yep. We work hard every year and make sure they're in the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners. Ha! Knowing Talon, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate the ranch may no longer meet the crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. We are looking for one, and actually those standards are quite high. Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident. Very well, here I go. Here we go again. The scene behind the door. I arrived at Longland Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my local guards. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with a saw chisel That's not what fucking happened. That's not what you saw. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I'll never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Taran and his daughter were incredibly kind. I can't believe she would commit such a horrible violence. Problem with that, she physically couldn't have done that because she found her passed out. Oh my, he saw the very moment the victim was killed? No, she did not. I don't know why the fuck she lying. Even Ganondorf's like, what the fuck? There you go! Decisive testimony! As there is no need to doubt the princess's statement, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. You haven't, fool! Because there's no need! Did you not hear one word of what I said? Didn't you just say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is to the defense's right. You complete? I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination, no matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. Okay, great. I've only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations towards the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. So, hold on. Let me look at my evidence here. So there's a lot wrong. First of all, the accusation that she wiped it with the cloth, Zelda made no mention of that. Zelda didn't see it happen. We know she didn't because we saw it in the opening cutscene. Oh, hey, hello. I didn't realize someone was actually watching. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for showing up. But yeah, so she couldn't have used the cloth in Zelda's version of the story because she was found immediately. Why would she wipe it after she found it? It doesn't make any sense. Also, the saw clearly can't be the murder weapon because it was a deep wound. A stab. A saw would like do this, not do this. That's not how a saw works. Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well. What's gotten into the prosecutor? He seemed like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh, excuse me. Oh? Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. Oh, that might mean that this testimony is a surprise even to him. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there's just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene. Oh, I didn't even catch that. The judge will catch on the stuff I'm not catching on to. That would be this, I presume. That was the wrong voice. That would be this, I presume. Why, yes, that is exactly it. What is that? Oh, this is the bottle of perfume that father intended to gift to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know the princess was coming instead of the king only until about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as this all is, the prosecution doesn't believe that's relevant to the case. Show it. Show it. I don't trust you, Ganondorf. I think you're hiding shit. I think you should show me the perfume bottle. There's something on the backside, isn't there? There's like some blood splatter or something that doesn't match up with the crime scene, isn't there? It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. Thank you! Thank you! The defense requests the bottle to be accepted into evidence. Bah! Desperate to latch onto every little thing, are you? Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy. No skin off my teeth. In that case, the courts accept this bottle into evidence. I like how it's star-shaped. That's kind of cool. Now then, defense begin the cross-examination. Hold on. But just before the crime found at the crime scene. Okay. Alright, here we go. Cross-examination time. Here we go. The scene behind the door? Okay. I arrived at Longland Ranch a little after 8 a.m. accompanied by my loyal guards. Hold on. Hold on. I think... Yep, I got it immediately. Okay. Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I've found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. How dare you question the princess? You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why you so desperately want to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct? Yes, the victim was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were a bit early. I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived, because the victim was already dead by then. That's not where I was going with it. I was gonna say, again, stab, slash. She couldn't have used the saw for it. That was what I was going with it, but I guess that works too. Yes, you really caught her in a lie. Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? I wholeheartedly respect and serve the crown. I will nonetheless not tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied. I suppose I did not see the exact moment it happened. I just only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. There is no one else who could have done it. And I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor. Bodies, plural? Bodies, plural? Bodies, plural? There is only one victim in this crime. Why are you using the plural of bodies? Is that just an error? Or are you saying we're dealing with more than one victim? Perhaps it'll be best if Her Highness revises her testimony. That's not good. There's still not enough doubt to overturn this testimony. Wait! Oh my god, wait. I think I've pieced it together. Did she see Malin, assume she was also dead, and then saw Ingo about to slash at her with the saw? Is that what happened? Did Ingo pussy out the last second because Zelda opened the door and he ran off? Maybe he was masked or something? I have to find something else or this case will be over. Alright, witness testimony. Here we go. What I actually saw, yes. I'm sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. That's also incorrect. I see. You only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's time for your cross-examination. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so that's the pictograph. Okay. Alright, oh, okay. So, hold on, wood saws. There's only one saw, okay. I feel like that'll be important. There's only one saw. I have to keep that in mind. They'll probably be like, well, maybe they used another saw. Well, there's only one saw, so they couldn't have used another saw. Saddles, horseshoes. That's a lot of fucking horseshoes. Holy shit. Axes, brooms. I cannot see the other side. Okay, I guess that must not be important. 15th of March, Ingo. Doesn't the Zelda timeline have its own month name? Well, whatever, who cares? Rakes, garden hose, buckets, hammers, knives. 6 knives, yeah. So then... Alright, let's go. Dragon Marcel looks pretty angry. I bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. Ooh. Yeah, okay, didn't see the actual moment. Had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones in the house. That's not true. There's one more. Are you sure Mal was the only person there other than the victim? From what I recall, there's an upstairs room at the ranch house. What if someone was hiding there? Don't be stupid, Defense! Why did I shift to a Ren and Stimpy voice? Stimpy, you idiot! You know, I'm gonna roll with it. Don't be stupid, Defense! If someone was hiding up there, the Sheikah Force would have found them! I stood guarded at the door the entire time. No one could have left. What if they jumped out a window? Don't be so ridiculous! Those windows are very high up! Yeah, but in Ocarina of Time, if you land and then roll, you survive any hit. Actually, those windows can't even be opened. They'd have to break one to leave. Right. Great. Well, there's a little more plot from the last testimony she gave. Suppose it matches the detective's account, doesn't it? Still, I feel something here sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, but I don't have any evidence to... I press the R button, not the triggers. Okay. Okay. Alright, so Link and Zelda not meet in this timeline then? Because they don't seem to change any pleasantries. Should I just get a hobby then? Okay, I will say, visually, this is pretty close to, like, actually what the 3DS Zelda, Phoenix Wright games were like. Kind of impressive, actually. In that case, it can't be conclusively proven that the defendant did it. Defense, did you exhaust your singular brain cell on the last contradiction you found? There's a Death Mountain's worth of evidence pointing at the defendant. And just because no one saw the actual moment of the crime doesn't mean anyone else could have done it. I think you're making a Death Mountain out of a Death Molehill. But it had to have happened shortly before I went to the ranch house. Miss Mountain and her father... Okay, yeah, okay, so hold on. How can you be so sure of that, Princess? Well... when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body. That is untrue! That is not true! We saw what she saw! That is not true in the slightest. What?! It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer did not even have enough time to hide the weapon. Yes, I might not have seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Oh my! That seems like a very important detail! I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony. Interesting. Driver doesn't look very happy with this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. Objection, motherfucker! I believe we found another reason to doubt the witness's words. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. But if the princess saw the saw lodged in the Talon's body and the crime scene was left intact, then it couldn't have been wiped! Hey! Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, care to explain? This is most perplexing. The Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Well, maybe the princess decided to put the saw out and in the valiant futile attempt to save the victim? He's like asking, and then wipe the blade clean? That would be almost like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. I guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Miss Town as well. It doesn't have a sharp edge to... How does nobody get this? It's a saw! It doesn't have a sharp edge to stab someone. Cannon just completely mask off. Just... You idiotic girl. Whoa! Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in court this once. Whenever I tried telling my father about everything, he always just seemed so disinterested. Why? I wonder why. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. I just wanted to play a large part in her capture. Zelda in this is like very vindictive and shit. She doesn't like Jesus Christ. Your Highness, the court is in no place for silly games. As it stands, I'm afraid we'll have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes! I did it! The prosecution lost their key witness. No! Please wait! I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified what I saw afterwards. Bah! Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy! Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. What? Huh? Evidence? Of course. While the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Sheikah! Did you know about this? Of course I did. You did? Interesting. I'll have your head for this! Order! Order! I will have order in this court! What is the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own. What? And you agreed to this? This court is not some playground where children decide when evidence should be presented just because they have a crown. He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with him on this one. I mean, I hate to agree with Ganondorf, but like, again, kind of have to. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Impa would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be all that important to the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. Right. This is highly, highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor? Bah! Naturally, I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's still clear that she did it without... even without a witness at the scene. I see. Defense? What do we do? If we object to presenting the evidence, then Dragbearer loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too. So we should agree with the prosecution? What is that face? Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left. Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely, you won't throw all the progress you've made thus far. What do I do? Request the evidence. I need all the evidence I can get. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented. What? While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all the evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statement that she found it somewhere away from the scene has to be admitted as testimony. Yes, Your Honor, I am well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance. Of all the idiotic! Order? Very well then. Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation. Thank you. I will not let you down this time. I promise. The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand by now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case. Here we go. Witness testimony, here we go. My findings. I wish to express my most heartfelt apologies for my mistakes in the earlier testimony. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah florist arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby, and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. Rope? Bombs? Sorry, I had to. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. You want it? It's yours, my friend, so long as you bring me enough rubies. And here it is, the oil bottle I found. That's the evidence. Is something wrong? I don't know, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well, of course there is, foolish girl. That has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding is some random fire on a ranch. Please, what next? Are you gonna declare every rake on the premises suspicious? I hate to agree with Gannon, but he has a point. He really does. This is bad. Your Honor, despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to cross-examination. Some straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on this charade, defense? The princess has clearly recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statement. The fuck are you talking about? I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case. Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to a cross-examination. Let's go! The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. Oil up, motherfucker! I really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense, for both your own sake and your clients'. Oh, don't I hope so too. It's the only lead I have, though. My findings. Okay, hold on. Found at the ranch near a burned out fire has a tiny bit of oil inside. Okay. Alright, Giallo man who's presided over some past cases. Okay. Okay, hold on. Alright. Hold it! Was there anything else in the room? Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floor, since the downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days. And the occasional game. Ah, of course! Dad's famous Cucko game. Cucko? Whatever the fuck. Good old days. They worked Saria's song into the suspense music. I can't begin to fucking even, and it genuinely fits so well. I hate how well it fits, but I simultaneously love it because that is actually really cool. Is the defense done reminiscing? There will be plenty of time to do that when the defendant's behind bars. I was just trying to distract myself from the fact that there's nothing to latch onto here. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah force arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. Oh wait, right, I have to actually be pressing these. Alright, hold on. Did anything happen during that time? No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest and ask me to let them take over, but I held my stance. While commendable in theory, staying in the same place as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you? Sweet highly up above? That thought did not occur to me. Bah! Of course not! Foolish girl! But if the guards did stand close by, I would have been safe. Wonderful to see how much faith their princess has in our royal guard. Of course I do. In any case... Alright, look around the ranch, yeah. You didn't just go home? The royal visitation was supposed to last a lot longer. Father was not expecting us back at the castle until much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take for the Sheik to arrive at the scene? It does take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castle town to the Halaman Ranch. I can't imagine it was more than 20 minutes. That is pretty fast. Although I imagine the fact that the princess was involved helped speed it up. Probably. Slowpokes! I'll be in half that time! Running backwards even! I suppose it's no surprise though. Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds. The Gerudo boy horse is from our end. Just don't bother, he's trying to rile you up. Eh. Her face has like a very weird side profile. What was the smell like? Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench. Ha ha! Surely you don't mean to say you found the smell of horse manure suspicious? Don't be ridiculous. The smell is not coming from the horses. Oh, I didn't mean to skip ahead. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby and a small lamp oil rope spawns. A fire, huh? Now let me remind you, Defense, that there's any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You can still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morn. Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been before you found it? Ah, right. There was still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently. So around the time of the crime. So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. I think he's realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit that fire anyways? It would have had been the ranch worker, who was putting the milk shipment together at the time. It was almost certainly him. Now do you really want to ask about this little barbecue, or you might as well get your wish soon? Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. Well, without anything concrete to pin on him, we'll just be able to brush it off. Hold it! Right, and she allows you to present it? Well, I was the one to find it. And since I was going to the trial anyway. Utter ridiculousness! Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason. Yes, I understand. Do you have any idea why there would be a fire at the ranch that day? No, it is pretty odd. And it sounds like it's definitely worth looking into. Although it will be hard to link it to the crime in any way. In situations like these, getting as much info as possible is my best bet. Oh! There's no need to press the witness on her apology! You already wasted the chance to throw out her testimony. Yes, Defense. Please get to the point. Yikes. Defense, I believe that is enough. Doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding a connection between this fire and the crime at all. No, I suppose not, Your Honor. Naturally! I've said this was a waste of time from the beginning! In that case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us? No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important. Leave my sight! Enough. Your Highness, if you'd allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle. Very well. Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution stance is still the same, of course. We maintain that the evidence on its own is enough to convict the defendant. I do believe I'm nearly ready to hand down my verdict. But Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she could kill her own father. That is an excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something a person commits lightly. Bah! I did briefly touch on the suspect during my opening statement. I just realized I could angle this down more. Alright. Hey, that's better. Hold on. This music. It's linked to the past! There's so many Zelda music references in this. But it's all stylistic Ace Attorney music. I fucking love it. Good gods! Bah! I did briefly touch on the suspect during my opening statements. But, naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness. This has to be that ranch worker. Before calling him in, though, the prosecution will request a brief recess to prepare. I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned! Oh boy. March 17th, 11:17 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. It's not going all that well, is it? Not really. No, I think it went about as well as it could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the words that the princess's testimony is untrue. Ugh, I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that. Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is we didn't manage to shape the core of the argument. If only there was anyone else in that house. Now, there is no need to look so glum. Who? Oh, it's Impa. Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragmar furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you just might be able to hear him ranting over the prosecution's lobby. was that him making the Oria or whatever sound effect from Smash Bros? He is really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try and shut you down as fast as he can. Well, that would be boring if I had anything you could shut down in the first place. The funniest way of saying I have no case. I do have the Chaos Emerald, though. I don't know why I have this. I just do. It is a piece of glass that's shaped like a Chaos Emerald. Like, I'll hold it closer to camera so you can see. Like, it is crazy. Anyways. Oh, but you do. What do you mean? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. The fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that. You really think it's relevant? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Don't get me wrong. At present, I'm convinced the girl did it. We investigated it and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I am willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be the only way out of this. If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on that topic. Hard. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he is the only one who could have lit that fire, and he's the killer because it's Ingo! I know it! It's Ingo! If he is hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, the next testimony is about the motive. It's going to be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmar's testimony. Objecting, rather. Not to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go on here. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing. You, ranch girl. Me? Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best of intentions in mind. You know the road that the Dark Realm was paved with those, right? Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment once you will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of an heir very suddenly. Hold on! Wait, older sister... So, is the Zelda of Ocarina of Time dead? That's right, the mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. What the fuck? We're going to royal assassinations now? What the fuck is happening? Hyrule still creates after the events of that day, and yet no one knows what exactly happened. In the void of information, conspiracy theories run amok, people blaming the Royal Guard, the Sheikah, and even the king himself. What the fuck is happening? We went from ranch hand murder to fucking royal assassinations! The princess will soon have a whole king's worth of troubles on her shoulders. Holy shit! For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess' conduct today probably won't help the distrust people have of the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy. Whatever comes of this trial, she does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. I never expected him to get so... Okay, whatever. I guess this is why she's had to take all the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Detective Impa! What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so please be quick. The investigation team went back at the ranch and sent word of a new development. Oh, something about a milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong recipient address. They're asking you to come over and see it. Oh, those idiots. I don't have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle. Roger. Oh my god. That did remind me though. I took that bottle of milk from a couple guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry, it's still unopened. I don't trust that milk. Oh? Thank you. That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. That bottle of milk has some evidence, doesn't it? If you'll excuse me. Ugh, I think I'm so nervous right now. Milk has just lost its flavor. Huh? Lost its flavor? The long milk is always so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. Huh. You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments? Probably. With the investigators at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so maybe it just isn't fresh? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? And this was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. I better make some notes about this in the court record. From one of yesterday's shipments, Impa brought it during the recess. It seems strangely tasteless. Oh. Interesting. Oh, what could that mean? What could it mean? I don't know. What could it mean? So it comes down to this. Oh, hold on. What's this you're playing? So it's a ROM hack of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time that's made to play and look and feel and really to succeed in trying to be like a Phoenix Wright game. Which, if you've never played Phoenix Wright, it's basically courtroom drama, the video game. But it's anime and over the top and extreme as all hell, and it is awesome, and they haven't made a new one in years, and then this came out, and I was like, oh my god, this might finally scratch that itch I've been desperately wanting scratched for years now. Oh god, now I have heart system, okay. Great. You can tell I'm a pro at these games as well, because I haven't made a single wrong accusation yet. Court is back in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready. Naturally, I have personally seen to it that there will be no foolishness this time around. Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, Hell yeah, exactly. Sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you for a moment. There's a delay between when I'm able to see chat and when you guys see my reactions to it. It's not super long, it's just a slight delay. Anyways, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains. The matter of motive. For naturally, such a heinous crime couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Our next witness can shed light on the matter. Fascinating. Very well, please proceed. I still can't believe we've gone from ranch hand murder to royal assassination. This ROM hack is fucking awesome. Yeah, I know, right? It so has Ace Attorney vibes. That's what they're going for. The logo for it, I have it in the thumbnail. It's literally just Link doing like the Phoenix Wright pose, like, objection! Okay, it's time for Ingo, who I am absolutely positive did the murder. This scumbag is gonna... It's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. It really is. Oh? Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. It's almost like looking at a different person. Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for court, and I wouldn't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working in it. Oh. Rolling on the floor laughing. Quiet, defense! Witness, state your name and occupation. And of course we have... Okay, we have like goofy fun music now. No! It's this song, but slow down! Oh my god! I'm having like double nostalgia overload here. There's the Zelda Ocarina of Time nostalgia. There's the Phoenix Wright nostalgia. And it's just fucking commingling and melding in this game. It is, oh my god! Your Honor, great humble prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch. Mind? What does that entail exactly? I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders. How long have you been working at the ranch? I'll be 7 years at this point. There have been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants a medal for it. Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch's silo single-handedly. Whoa, that is some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you're privy to some inside information, is that correct? Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we're like a big family. That sounds lovely. That sounds like a red flag that you're going to be getting loads of unpaid overtime. Actually, you know what? You know what? He's totally right. He's totally right. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way, though, did they? It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, honorable court of law. Ingo, you scumbag, I know you did it. I know you're the killer. I don't think you killed the princess. You're not that capable. But you killed fucking Talon. Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. So long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her. He is really selling this act. And there you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. What the fuck do you mean a man who lost everything? He's inheriting everything because he's the sole worker left. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. And now we have motive. How do we know he's telling the truth? Bah! I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per the law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown notary office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare evidence for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Long Lawn Ranch inheritment document into evidence. Mr. Ingo, why would you... Okay, hold on. Mal will inherit the ranch if she is unable. Divide the deed among the crown and the remaining employees. Okay. Interesting. Why would he include the crown in that? Because obviously Ingo manufactured this. Obviously he did this. Right? Why would he include the crown in that? Because he's a greedy motherfucker. We all know this. He stole the ranch in the Bad Future in Ocarina of Time. So, like, obviously it's something he was planning for a while, and this is just, like, another take on that. Her side profile is very weird. Use your bad judgment now, Judge! The defense has nothing! I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. Well, of course, ask whatever you'd like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Very well, defense. Please begin. Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. How long ago was this exactly? 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure on the exact date. Had it been planned for a long time? Talon was getting on in years. Better to take care of the matter sooner rather than later, eh? Oh, excuse me. Malin? He is telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago. What do you mean by partly, witness? Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. We're going to fucking inheritance law. Like, Phoenix Wright, I don't think ever did this. So Malin hadn't become the ranch owner yet? Well, of course not! Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes. The moment ownership signed to them. Talon was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. If the girl was up to some chicanery, he could always revert his decision. That's horrible. I'd never do that. As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself. I must concur. The younger generation is horrible. Why did he look at me while saying that? Anyway, what that meant was, as long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. But why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown. That's not true. I love working with the animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything. Wah! She's often slack on the job, while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall from the tree, as they say. That Talon loved to sleep on the job, too. Oh, I do recall quite a funny story about the Long Lawn Ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle for an entire day once. Well, yes, that is true. You want to know who this story is probably told by? Fucking Link. And the gods couldn't wake him up. Took a particularly vocal Kaku, apparently. Ah, jeez. Yeah, exactly, it's him. Well, there you go. I'm the real reason why the ranch has such renown. Me, the hard-working Ingo. Link, that's not true at all. I know. But how do I stop this? It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. Hold on. You really think Mom will go that far? I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then? Talon was getting older. Perhaps she knew that more work would be piling onto her. But really, how am I supposed to know? Ask her! That's alright. Well, if Mal didn't want to go to work, wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd still inherit the ranch. I swear you're wrong. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl here and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal guards. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. Is this true? Yes. Father's previous inheritance argument did work that way. How admirable. I guess familiar bonds won over a strive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame. Yes, naturally. The girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time. I think this sufficiently explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we? Wait just a moment. There's one problem with the time that I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Mallet have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. You think she would have chosen any other day? Oh, did I forget to mention this? I heard Town arguing with her that very morning. He was telling her he'd changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he'd be signing the ranch over to the crown. All that after the visitation was over, he'd head to Castletown to change the inheritance back to the original split. What? Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear he did make the right choice in the end. And because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get the ranch, she had no time to waste that day. Is this true too? Absolutely not. Father wasn't planning to do that, and there was no argument either. What to do about this argument then? Add it to the testimony. There was an argument in inheritance? That sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requests it be added to the testimony. Very well, witness. Please do so. I'd be happy to, Your Honor. Hold on, let me see here. Wait, what? But no, that is... Come on. Come on, it makes sense. He just went out to buy the perfume right before the crime. Dude, he went to Castletown already, right before the crime. Of course he couldn't do it. He went to Castletown right before to get the perfume. First thing in the morning, I was heading out to the stall to start the day's work. I just walked out the front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling right behind me. Do you remember any specifics about what was said? Oh yes, it surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was all like, I'm real sorry, Mal, but the most important thing is to make sure the king will have a steady supply of quality horses. I don't care. What about me, Father? How can you do this to me? Mal, this isn't just about you. It's for the good of the entire kingdom. But what am I supposed to do? I can't move up in life if I'm stuck in this dump of a ranch forever. I thought you loved the ranch. All the animals are here. Ingo's always around to help out the chores too. He's pretty great, isn't he? Yeah, Ingo's awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over. What a stirring reenactment. I will keep my thoughts on the witness's acting skills to myself. Shut the fuck up, Gannon. I'm trying my best. There's no way this actually happened, though. Mal would never want to sell the ranch. Well, of course you say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's under suspicion for murder. We can't trust the thing she says. Well, I trust her, but the judge probably doesn't right now. Oh my god. Ugh, and that's all that unfortunately what matters. Do you have anything in the court record that could refute this story? If you ask me, this whole inheritance issue could have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there would be no question that the fortress may seize whatever it desires. That's just messed up. No matter. Continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant. Maybe it's the time thing. No. Okay. Alright, I gotta find... Oh. Started saying you and your father had an argument. Like I said, that's not true. Of course, but since no one was around, it's just your word against his. That's right. There wouldn't be any physical evidence to the argument, so it might be a dead end for me. Maybe I should focus on something else. Maybe he'll slip up if I press his other statements. Okay, let me try holding it on this. No, you hold it! That man gave everything for her! He's gotten so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that gold necklace she's wearing. That more ain't spoiled or rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed. Another gift? Ah, yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. It's horrible. Child was such a good man. What's happened to him is despicable. Yes, indeed, and you just given me the perfect piece of evidence to kick your ass to jail! Was that last statement important? Fuck yeah, it was! Add it to the testimony! Bah! What are you doing? Trying to implicate the defendant even further? I think it's an important detail. The perfume was irrelevant! It is the key to the case, you bitch! Shut the fuck up! But I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to her testimony. Gotcha, bitch. What is it? Just to confirm, you said this bottle of perfume was bought for Malin by her father, correct? What else would it be for? I assure you, Talent wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was Ryan truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. The bottle of perfume was bought for the princess. So what, defense? Sure, it is technically a contradiction. But what is the purpose of this bottle shape? That's actually a good point. Fuck! Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Early in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin? It sure is. We had, oh, wait, hold on. Holy moly. Hey, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Sure is. We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making this visitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift. This info puts one thing into question. Oh, Zelda Ace Attorney. I know, right? I've been itching for a new Phoenix Wright game for years. And then this drops on my YouTube feed. And I was like, I have to play it. I have to stream it. For somebody's movements, the princess's testimony is already in question. So somebody's movements. Someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting, then, defense. Who was this person? Naturally, the person who both becomes suspect is... Ingo! The witness himself! If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime machine the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle! Yes! Ah! Order! Order! The defense raises a very valid point. You simpleton! What was the meaning of this? Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No, of course I didn't. I was working in the silo all day. I remember, I saw the gift the day before the crime. You idiot! Were you not listening? We just said it was bought just before the crime. You idiot! That girl is lying. Tal must have got naked the day before. Well, the prosecutor said it, so guess what? You're calling your own team a liar. You're the one who's lying. Barbara didn't leave the ranch at all that day. One word against another's. No, it's no one's word against anyone, because the prosecutor is the one who introduced the perfume into evidence and said it was for the princess. And that it was bought the day of. It's literally the prosecutor's word against everyone else's. Defense. Do you have any way to prove that your version of events is true? Yeah, look back at the fucking court record what the prosecutor said. It's that simple. Find the receipt, I guess. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of purchase. It might still be at the ranch house, as if we send someone out to look for it. However, never shows receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The one perfume one should be right on top. I believe this idea has some merits. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt. Your Honor. Yes, what is it, soldier? We have just received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene. Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out. There's a lot writing on this. From Tangle's Mysterious Smells. Tangle's Mysterious Smells. Tangle's Mysterious Smells. Oh my god. Yes, I think I've seen that store. It's that centric looking place in the back alley. Into the back alley. I'm out of fucking breath. Holy shit. Oh my god. You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore. The music to all this is so fitting too. The gall of this nobody running a monopoly on Harley and perfume is preposterous. Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand. The nerve of that dunderhead! Why would anyone ever shop at a store where the owner calls every customer a fairy? Prosecutor? And the balloons! Oh, the balloons! That fool pop run right in front of my face! Prosecutor Dragma, enough! Continuing on, purchase item, 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Lands. Oh my god, okay. Just all the Tingle references right now, I love it. Oh my, this is quite the price. Why, I would have to... Your Honor, please, the date of purchase? Ah, yes, right, date of purchase? Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder, like I said! Order! Order! Yes, we got him. Whew, I didn't think we were actually going to get somewhere. Bah! This still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house for something and saw the bottle then. Yeah, considering that freak out to calm, I'd say that's a solid fuck no. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then. Oh, come on. You think we're gonna believe that? Do you have any proof that he didn't? Well, I believe this calls for further testimony. As the witness not claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder, we should learn of his exact movements that day. Oh god, excuse me. Ha! My movements? Well, alright. There's not a whole lot to say, though. The fire bottle evidence. It's gonna become relevant. It's unfortunate that he managed to weasel out of that. But this next testimony will be full of lies. This is my chance! This must be the final testimony, or second to final. As already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened. And wow, was that detective one fine woman? Flirting with Impel was not on my agenda for today. Ugh. See? I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat! I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. As was already stated, I had to volunteer to work in the silo. What were you doing? Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. We sent out crates of milk to milk bars all across the kingdom every day, you know. Milk bars? Naturally, everyone loves a good drink, you know. And our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others water their down. Despicable. You mean like the flavorless milk that we got? I see. I think you said earlier that your job is to work on the structures and equipment, though. Indeed, Talon and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds occupied, so I took it to myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got so scared that the Sheikah Force's investigation would delay the shipment that I, the great Gingo, would get the blame! This guy... Ugh. Sorry, I'm just moving stuff around here real quick. Thankfully, it all went through fine. Yeah, and you were so concerned with sending it off so quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it! This guy is a clown. Bah! You Hylians! Ridiculous! Getting tipsy from something like milk? Bet you couldn't handle even a sip of the Gerudo's noble pursuit. A real man's drink. A real man's drink? Aren't most of the Gerudo women? All but one of them, as a matter of fact. Speaking of drinks, I do believe the witness was asking about how he had gotten himself a glass of water. Yes, of course! Moving all that heavy stuff around works up a sweat, you see. I got real thirsty and... At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. You didn't think to just take a sip of the milk you were handling? No, it wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see. I didn't just want to get into any trouble. A truly honest man! How dare you suggest we would steal from his old workplace! Right. So what did you see at the house? Nothing much. I got my drink and left. Still had a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember it clearly now. It was there on the table, plain as day. Great. What happened after that, witness? I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. And you're able to complete this so quickly on your own. Bah! You might not know the might of the great Ingo. Hot! Hiya! Foul! Wham! I get things done in no time. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There were so many, and all so heavy, it was like a puzzle in there! Anyway, that's not important. The point is... I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then! You say that, but I don't believe you. Are you sure? As sure as I can be! You never went back in, even after the crime was discovered? Bah! They wouldn't let me in! Preserving the crime scene or some such. I couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. Hold on. You weren't able to get your things? Then who the fuck's clothes are you wearing? Is what you just said important? It is important. Your Honor, I would like the witness to add his last statement to his testimony. What? Are you trying to pull something now? Very well, witness. Please amend your statement. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Let's see here. Couldn't you just stayed at the inn? Ah, what am I, made of money? Think, boy, I'm just a simple farm worker, you know? You liars, always flaunting your wealth. Right, sorry. Not actually sorry. I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Just look at what he's wearing. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened. Yeah, impa flirting. Okay. Alright, interesting. Could you elaborate? She's a hard-working woman who gets to the point and takes what she wants. Not to mention her impeccable fashion sense. What's that to love? That's not the point I want to ask him to elaborate on. Wow, he seems totally smitten with her. Sure does. Wonder how Impa feels about it. Perhaps when this chore of a trial is over, I could... But no, I will have to wait. You thought you could distract me, did you? I, the genius ranch worker, Ingo, see through your schemes! You're sticking to that story, huh? Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well. I can hardly believe this is the same Mr. Ingo I know. He's usually so nice. It's time to press for more details. Sure to slip up somewhere. Or a profile! Okay, hold on. There it is. Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. What? What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in? Yes. Right? Well, that would imply you'd still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all. Ah! The defense has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for court. I can't imagine you would want to sully those clothes doing work. Well, what do you have to say to that? Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah. On my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum, moo. Moo! Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately. What's that supposed to mean? I'm in my finest Zora suit. So you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct? Very much so. This morning, in fact. Why do I have to repeat myself? Do I accept that explanation? Wait. I don't accept it because you're wearing those clothes in the photograph several years ago. What? Oh, how can you claim so? Defense, as you know, evidence is everything in court. If you prove that the witness couldn't have bought the clothes today, get out. Take that! Oh, hold on, one moment. Okay, and I am back. And it is not playing through my headphones. It's playing on the thing. Hold on. Why are you not playing on my headphones? Was one lovely pictograph. It reminds me of the idyllic days sitting with my grandson at the fishing pond. What about this pictograph defense? Okay, hold on. I am completely blind to the music right now. I really need to figure out why this isn't. Oh, let me try. Oh. There we go. I got my audio back. Well, just look at what Ingo is wearing. This photo is from Mal's childhood, but Ingo is very clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today. Order! I will have order! Why? The defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for this. There, I think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time. Unless someone weaseled out for him. Isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the site in advance, so that he could quickly change just before the royal visitation's arrival. Oh! 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 Yes, of course. I needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. Wait a minute, this is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making up excuses on the spot. Ingo is clearly lying about buying the clothes before the trial. He's onto something. Your Honor, surely he won't accept this blatant perjury. Accept it, Judge! There can be no other explanation! The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say it himself and instead made up a lie about buying the clothes is indeed very suspicious. Thank you! Defense! The prosecution has posed that there is no other possible explanation for the contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternative version of events? This is big. I need to think this through. Oh god, what is happening? Oh! Ingo is actually really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. Why would he be doing that? Ingo is the murderer. If it's not Mal, and Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did if I want to think Mal is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? What happened to make it necessary? They got Talon's blood got on them. When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have gotten blood on them. He had the chances of something else to hide his involvement. But then, wouldn't the Sheikah force have found the clothes in the house? How could they have disappeared? They were thrown in a fire! Here we go! Ho ho ho! Oh my god, yes! This is so cool, man. That's it! This explains everything! Hell yeah. I believe I can alter an alternative explanation. Nonsense! Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing. I call for a quick ruling. And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder. No! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since is because it got stained with the victim's blood. Preposterous! If there were any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah Force would have found them, and we would be trying someone else for murder right now. Why, you're absolutely correct, prosecutor. Huh? Naturally, anyone couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so, he used this to dispose of them. Take that! Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's, the mysterious fire. Surely you jest. You yourself made sure that we knew how meaningless her testimony was. And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned out fire. Ingo used this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and then tried to hide it. This. No! Hold on! What drill are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible! Witness testimony, here we go. Too busy for murder, he says. Everything you said is wrong! I have no idea what you're on about! I have an alibi for the time of the crime! I just couldn't have done it! There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement! The fire was just made for a quick breakfast! There's no mystery there! Stop trying to pin this on poor, innocent Ingo! Now, I should have to remind the defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete his shipment in time. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous. That's right, the great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient. No, it had to have been him. I'm sure of it. That's why he watered down the milk. He wasn't able to get all the milk, so he just watered some of it down. It's a shortcut. I know the shortcut. He didn't double check the shipping labels, and he also screwed up and didn't do the milk right. Surely my scenario is more plausible at this point than these panicked attempts to fix your story. What's more plausible isn't for you to decide, defense. It's the judge that makes the final call. As long as his alibi stands, I can't imagine him siding with you. Yes, all the loose ends have been tied up, had to be tied up for a decision to be made. Witness, please continue. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I just couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The file was just made for a brick. Oh, wait. I'm in the actual thing again. Could you explain what that alibi is again? With pleasure. At the time of the crime, I was busy preparing that day's shipments of milk. That's hard work. I barely had enough time to get them all done before the courier came to take them. The shipments were inspected by the Sheikah Force as they were leaving the ranch. And as our resident detective has told us, they were found to be fully loaded up with bottles of milk. That's right! The Sheikah Force itself has vouched for me. There's no way I could be the culprit. Oh, I disagree. There has to be a way. There must be. I know what it is. I just have to figure out how to present it. Would it really have taken that long to murder someone and burn the clothes? Would it have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme infeasible? Completing these shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them in the crates, and load them onto a wagon. So, we know he only milked some of the cows. He might not even clean the bottles. He poured some milk in them, poured some water, put them all in the crates, and then loaded those onto the wrong wagon. I love working with the cows, but that part takes the longest. You only get a little at a time. So as Mr. Ingo said, the whole thing really does take a while. Father and I usually have to work together to get it done in time for the courier's arrival. There you go, Defense. Your own client knows this is the unshakable truth. Okay, so there's no way he could have completed the shipment's at altitude killing. In that case, there had to be some way for him to finish the work faster. You'd have to find it. I already know what it is. I just have to find out how to present it. So you have enough time for breakfast, but not enough time to kill someone? Yes, of course. The breakfast was cooking while I kept working. Then I just quickly gobbled it up. There's no issue here. In fact, yes, I remember I even burned a bit because I wasn't completely paying attention to it. That's why I had to go get that glass of water too, you see. Had to wash it down after. What a convenient little explanation. But for all I know, he actually did cook up a breakfast on a pile of burning, blood-soaked clothes. Ew. Continue, witness. We don't want to hear about your culinary adventures. Of course. My point is just what I've been telling you this whole time. I got it! Hey. But did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly? Defense, I should have to remind you that she can check those boxes very thoroughly. They were definitely full of milk bottles. Oh, I'm sure of it. Look that way. What are you getting at, Defense? Here you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk for me? Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The crowd will be informed of this. Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking His Honor try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. Well, this is highly irregular. But to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know. You probably talk the least out of everyone here, though. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. Is this what passes for milk these days? It almost tastes like water. Water? I have to agree. This is definitely not standard milk. As we've heard from the princess and the detective, Longland Ranches were known for the high quality of its products. But there's no way people would say that about a milk this lousy. Bah! Whatever. If the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage, where are you going on with this defense? It's simple, you see. I've received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so this must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. Ah! It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own, unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order! Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed. All he had to do was milk fewer of the cows. To save enough time without ruining the taste too much, I guess he used about a 50-50 split of water and milk. This is... No! Talon! Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. What all of you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker. How dare you? Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it? Well, no. But now we do know he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well. Yet there is a vital element is missing still. Oh boy. Let me put it in simple terms so even an idiot like you can understand. Rebuttal. Whoa. Okay. The murder weapon. You lack the murder weapon! If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. And why is that? It's simple. The girl's story about working on the fence is true, that she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It couldn't have been in two places at the same time. Do I agree with this? Yes. I believe we're in complete agreement on this point. You do realize the problems that creates with you, right? I'm sure it can all be explained. Ha! As if. But very well. Let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. Where would the supposed other murder weapon have even come from? Have you forgotten this murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site. Ho ho! That's simply impossible. We checked all sharp objects on the ranch and searched everywhere. No fresh blood was found anywhere else. Couldn't Ingo have just wiped it off? Blood leaves traces. It's not that easy to get rid of. People like us aren't so sensitive. However, things like Zora's can easily tell by smell. Naturally, the Sheikah Force employs people just for this task. Also, as Long Long Ranch focuses on selling horses and milk, the animals there aren't as regularly butchered. So there's no good reason why any of the tools would have fresh blood on them. Any such implement would have stood out like a sore thumb. Well, I guess that's a good point. You have to rethink this. Hidden it? Ah! The Kingdom's best investigators are on this case. We found no signs of anything buried on the premises. And even if Ingo skipped part of his work, he still wouldn't have had time to hide anything very far from the ranch. Maybe an idiot, but do you really think he would have risked the weapon being found? Now listen here! Silence! Ah! Well, I guess that's a good point. I may have to rethink this. Could Ingo just dispose of it? Ha! That's impossible, you see. No items from the ranch's inventory list were missing, and that list is indisputable. Except... it's not, because it's made by Ingo. How can you be so sure that your inventory is accurate? Bah! Use your head! There was a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owner needed everything to be in order. He would double, even triple check that list when he wrote it. He didn't write it. The inventory list itself is false. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the validity of this document? That would be something about the inventory itself. It's simple. You need only a brief look at the inventory to see if it can be trusted. Oh ho ho! You can't just go around making such general statements, defense. Point out exactly what about the inventory makes it suspect. Just look here. The one who compiled the list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the accounts as part of his plan. That doesn't matter. Nothing else could have left the ranch. Except... it could have. Are you really sure nothing left the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous! Have you forgotten that said shipments have already been checked by the Sheikah Force before they were allowed to leave? That's true, but... there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What in Din's name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeon full of nooks and crannies and stuff things inside, are they? Where they could have missed a murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the contents of the bottles. There's one place inside the crates that Sheikah couldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipments. Without ruining the shipments? Ah! That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles to conceal it from the search. That does seem plausible. No, wait just a moment. The weapon in the milk bottle wouldn't just go unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. Except that if it was the turns! You'll be correct that a weapon was showing up in someone's milkshake would cause quite a stir. If the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch that not long ago one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. What? No! Indeed. If you recall, Engel was the one who handled all of that. Now, that's strange. The ranch supplies the ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if you've messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly? It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving a bottle of milk with a murder weapon in it. Oh! I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in shipping limbo a little longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was good on game. Oh god, if I could English. Maybe because they were worried they'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate those boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have those boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Argument complete. Hell yeah. My god, this is so cool so far. They even have their own, like, little bits of, like, actual... This is slander! Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead? The motive? That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it. This evidence easily explains your motive. The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the tester's death to his daughter, Mount Alana Ranch will inherit the ranch, unless he is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Ah! What? You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you will be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the silo all day. He gave you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. Of course, you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No! 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 What are you talking about? Talon signing the ranch over to me? Preposterous! Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmeyer who procured the actual document, not him. Your Honor! What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? That was quite fast. Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something awry with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush the courier to deliver our message. Well, well, well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? The part of the shipment that proves my case is... this one. Here it is. From the bottle with a slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound pretty nicely. How could those secret idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my theory right. Oh, I've had it! Fine, fine! You wanna know why? You wanna know why I really killed that scumbag? No! No! What are you? So you admit it? Yes, yes, I admit it! What would you do if, one day, after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish, without any reason? Fired! Farewell! We don't need you anymore! What? That doesn't make any sense. Ho ho! Don't lie! I heard it all! I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, what's this? Mal and Talon are talking behind my back! I heard it all! We'll let them go after the visitation. We can handle things without them. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. Ha! You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you called a father. And he deserved it. Order! The witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away. Wait just a moment. Ingo. Yes, girl? Want to apologize for what you've done? Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying. What? We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure everything's in tip-top shape. I do worry some about old Ingo, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation. Ha ha! Now, there's an idea. It'd do him good just to get out for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him. Oh my god. What? You are plotting what? A vacation? For me? And I did... No! No, it can't be so! Please say it isn't so! Oh my god, the chicken! Oh my god, yes! Oh my god! How long is this ROM hack? Like, is it just one case? They teased that like the princess was murdered already. I feel like there must at least be a second case. Or we'll update it with one later. We've witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable. Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss will be felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule. The killer turned out to be an unruly, pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him! An utter idiot, dressed like a clown. Jeez, he's really laying into him. I bet he's just upset because he lost. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to decide today's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please stand up to the stand? Yo, miss, I'm terribly sorry for the situation you find yourself in. I am very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend. I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. Oh, thanks. Now then, without further ado, in the name of the goddess Hylia and all the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby find Malin of Lon Lon Ranch not guilty. Oh my god, man. Court is adjourned. God, that was amazing. Hyrule Grand Court Defendant Lobby, number 3. Oh my god. We did it! I suppose so. I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood. I don't think I can ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done. That's fair enough, honestly. Really though, you shouldn't think about that for now. You're free. It's time to celebrate. I guess you're right. Excellent work! Hey! I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. Couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thank you. Now, that's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not someone who deserves it the most. Huh? Oh, she's here too. Your Highness? I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle. What strings did Impa have to pull to get her here? But then I realized such a polished boy that I did personally. It's an honor. There's no need to bow, not after what I've done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside that angry little man. Perjury's, pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness. How can you say that, Detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison. Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future, but it's all thanks to you that the young lady over there finally went free. Huh? Come on, attorney. Show Her Highness what I'm talking about. A bottle. Well, it's true. Without this, and without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to substantiate our claims. And, really, your obviously false testimony helped us a lot! It should just stop on his foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Mallard isn't too upset. Well, sure? Sure, alright? We have orders to escort the prisoners back to the castle immediately. Just in time. Farewell, Your Highness. And so they left. Now then, listen to me. I know I am perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead to the kingdom through then. There's a second case, isn't there? I am so ready for a case 2. She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though. And she will. Huh? Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency with which she has been escorted out of here is not coincidental. What? Is the king going to scold her? At the very least. Now then. My duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust I will be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. Future court proceedings, there's more! There's more! I'll try my best, he says. That is all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. You! Hello, nice day we're having, isn't it? Tell me, now, where did that blasted detective go? To have my reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies. Dramatic much? He looks about ready to burst from anger. Don't be such a sore loser. You lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't it make you even a little bit glad? Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that. What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. So you have many grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there is some truth in what he's saying. Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on the fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she's done for generations! Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he was being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else. I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too. I'll get in touch with the castle, see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as I always have. That's the spirit. I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. And so ended a very personal case for me. Felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Now I'd continue working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but those days following were some of the happiest I've lived for a long time. Little did I know that I felt the terrible trying machine shock the entire kingdom. I soon found myself smacked down in the middle of it. Oh my god, it's a case too! Let's live for another day. Oh my god! Wait, no! Wait, no! Is that really the end? No! Are they gonna make a sequel then? Please tell me they're gonna make a sequel. They're gonna make a sequel. They have to. They teased the sequel. They have to make a sequel. Well, I guess I'll start wrapping up here. Thank all of you so much for watching. This is a great stream. I love this. When they make a sequel, I will play it. Maybe not day one. I don't want to make any promises I can't keep. But I will play it as soon as I possibly can. This was an amazing experience. Oh my god. Thank all of you for coming. I'm gonna keep sticking around and see if there's any like post credits. But if there's not, I'm just gonna end the stream. Thank all of you for coming. Who is that at the stand? Oh my god. Would you go, please? Hurry up with the credits, please! I want to see if there's anything at the end, or like a sick case or anything. Or if you're just gonna end. Goodbye, Ango! Have fun in prison! You piece of shit. Oh my god. Is there really, like, I'm looking at all the options here. There is not an option to unlimit the frame rate. Okay. Ha! Whew! Okay. Ocarina of Time NPC Maker. Interesting. Okay. Come on. Oh, that's his grave, isn't it? Ah. There's a legend in that grave. Oh man, this was amazing. This was a great experience. I just hope they make a sequel, because they've teased a sequel and now I want a sequel. This was so good. Alright, well that's the end. Thank all of you for coming. This was amazing. Thank you all for coming. I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you for coming. Is there anything more to this? If I press the button, oh, it will. It'll just take back the task screen, won't it? Oh, scene select is now unlocked. Extra 1. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to take a quick break from the stream here for a moment. I will be back. And then when I get back, we're going to continue Extra 1. Alright, and I'm back. Now we go to the extra stage. Talon X -1. Oh my god, this is so... And it's got the Mario Wonder music. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Retry. Oh, okay. I'm also on a time limit, so... It does not control the best, but... This is Zelda Ocarina of Time. I don't know what really people were expecting. They wanted you to make pretty precise platforming jumps. It's just not really something you can feasibly do. Ah. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Oh, I did it. I'll show you a secret he heard. Okay. There's a game with a giant egg in which you can become a criminal. And a pair of games with climate change and time travel. They say actions can be locked by connecting them on the title screen using a certain accessory. Now, I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you can figure it out. See ya. How can I do that in an emulator? Hold on, let me look up like what it's talking about. Let's see here. Okay, so I don't know what games it's talking about. Or what accessory it's talking about on how to do it. Well... Well... I guess we'll call it here, because I don't know what accessory it's talking about. I can't find anyone talking about it. I can't really think of a pair of games that involve climate control and time travel. For the N64 at least. So I guess I'll call it here, because I can't really think of anything. I'm like sitting here trying to think and I can't. Well, thank anyone who came for coming. I haven't even checked the analytics pretty much all stream actually. It's, oh, 71 people came to view. Oh, and someone's watching right now. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I would keep going, but like I don't know what accessory Talon's talking about. I don't know what accessory he's talking about. I can't find anyone talking about this. I don't know what games he's talking about. So I don't know. Wait, time travel and climate. Is it talking about Majora's Mask or the original Ocarina of Time? Well, no, because that wouldn't be a duo games with climate change. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Maybe Turok? I didn't play Turok, but that has dinosaurs in it. Maybe there's some time travel in that. I don't know. I'm trying to like think, like Banjo-Kazooie. That has climate change and Click Clock Woods. Click Clock Clock, whatever. My brain's fried. I can't remember right now. But Banjo-Tooie I don't think has time travel though. Although the Game Boy Advance interlude game has time travel. Maybe that's what it means? I don't know. Well, thank all of you for coming. It's been great, but I have to end it here because I don't know what it's talking about. I might come back later if there is substantial content and like someone figures out how to access it. Thank all of you for coming, and I'll see all of you in the next stream or video, whatever it is.